Lionel Messi says goodbye to Barcelona. How and why does the best romance in football history have to end? The year 2020 is just full of surprises, starting the year with war threats, countries catching fire, and other crazy stuff. One would think that we've seen it all. But no, a global pandemic hit the world, making us miss over 4 months of football action. 4 whole months. Upon the return of football, every football fan, player, and staff were all willing to end the 2019-20 season, which has become the longest football season ever, and get a fresh start. Then bam, the worst of the worst things happened. Lionel Messi, the 6 times Ballon d'Or winner, has decided to leave his boyhood club, FC Barcelona. How did we get there? Is it even possible? Why exactly does the little magician want to leave a club which he has played for almost 20 years, winning everything that could be won? We bring you all the answers and more in today's video. It's about to get exciting. Hey guys, welcome to Information Forge, where we bring you the juiciest contents. Is Lionel Messi really leaving Barcelona? On the 16th of August 2020, a massive report broke from Marcelo Beckler, one of the most reliable sports journalists on the Brazilian news giant team Sport Interativo, where he reported, and I quote, "Lionel Messi doesn't want to leave Barcelona in 2021. He wants to leave immediately, this summer." This sent the internet wild. First, because had it been anyone else, we would have counted it as a rumor. But Marcelo was the first person to break the news of Neymar's move to PSG, amongst other juicy stuff. So yeah, his words can be taken seriously. Few days after his report, it turns out to be true. The accomplished veteran and captain of FC Barcelona had sent a fax to the club executives stating that he would be leaving Barca, a team that he joined at the age of 14, to pick up another shirt. The 33-year-old has communicated his intention to leave behind the club he played at for 16 years. Although his contract is set to expire at the end of the 2021 season, Messi and his legal team believe the clause will allow him to terminate his deal unilaterally. Rumors of Messi's unhappiness have been swirling since Bayern Munich humiliated Barcelona 8-2 in the Champions League quarter-final earlier in August, ending a season that saw the club fail to win any trophies. Following that match, it was reported by some journalists at Goal.com who said they had never seen Messi so dejected and frustrated. In the aftermath of the Bayern defeat, Barcelona sacked head coach Kike Setien as well as the technical manager Eric Abidal. They subsequently hired Ronald Koeman to replace Setien, with the Dutchman expressing his desire to keep the Argentine star at Camp Nou. Messi cut his vacation short to meet Koeman last week, telling the Dutchman in their meeting that he no longer believed in the club's project. Though many at Barca hoped Messi's frustration would cool with time after the Bayern defeat, his decision to leave had already been made and communicated with friends and family members. Barcelona president Josep Maria Bartomeu has previously insisted that Messi will end his career at Camp Nou, as his own future continues to be questioned. Bartomeu has moved Barca's president elections forward to March, as he looks to keep hold of a position that would become even more precarious as he is to oversee Messi's departure. With his desire to leave confirmed, attention will turn to Messi's potential next destination. With very few clubs likely able to afford the Argentines' wages, Inter Paris Saint-Germain and Manchester City have been mooted as possible landing spots. And a move to Major League Soccer at the Chinese Super League has also been discussed. Messi has established himself as one of the football's all-greatest players after initially making the breakthrough with Barcelona in 2004. He has won La Liga on 10 occasions and lifted the Champions League 4 times. Though Barca has been shut out from European club football's biggest prize since the 2014-15 season, on an individual level, Messi has won the Ballon d'Or a record 6 times, including a run of 4 straight wins between 2009 and 2012, as well as the most recent award in 2019. How possible is it for him to leave? A lot of people think that this is just a political move. Get Bartomeu out of the way, then retain the Catalan-crowned prince. But Messi has made his intentions very clear to his displeasure to stay. Now here's where it gets tricky. Messi has a huge release clause of 700 million euros. Wow! Some clubs' entire staff team don't even make up to that in 5 years. But that's what it takes to get Leo to put the Barcelona shirt aside. This begs the question, how exactly is it possible for him to leave? There are 3 ways that he could leave. Either someone pays his gargantuan release clause, he leaves on free transfer, or Barca agrees to a good old transfer fee. Well, let's see how each of them might pan out, shall we? Release clause. When Messi informed his longtime club of his decision to leave, the entire footballing world became abuzz with speculation on where he'd end up and how he'd get there. As far as Barca is concerned, Messi is still under contract until the end of the upcoming 2021 season, and there's a hefty release clause that keeps him that way. But there's another clause in his deal, signed back in 2017, that allows the Argentine to walk away without Barca seeing a single cent in return. The question is whether that clause is valid. In the wake of Neymar's earth-shattering 222 million euros buyout by Paris Saint-Germain 3 years ago, Barcelona was understandably eager to lock up the best player in club history. Messi was linked to a 4-year contract extension in November 2017 that included a previously unheard of 700 million euros buyout clause. Put simply, if a PSG or Manchester City were intent on purchasing Messi's services, they'd have to negotiate a transfer fee with Barca or shell out the colossal 700 million euro figure. Obviously, no club in the world would actually consider paying the 700 million euro buyout fee, even for one of soccer's GOATs. So, from Barca's point of view, any advances on Messi would have to go through the Catalan club. The buyout clause still exists and could still theoretically be activated. But if a team was going to do so, it likely would have been done by now. So it's not a question of who wants the magic man, but who can afford him. Termination clause. This is the one that's being talked about, as Messi has a unilateral clause included in his contract that allows him to walk away from Barcelona without the club receiving any compensation. While it may seem crazy that Barca would include such an easy out for a generational player, keep in mind that at the time, Messi was very happy with the prospect of remaining at Camp Nou long term, as there was no indication that he'd ever actually consider using it. But things change, you know. Either way, the clause exists, and it's the one Messi's team is hoping to use to force his exit from the club after nearly 2 decades. Where it gets tricky, as with any legal contract, is in the wording. It's been widely reported that Messi would have to inform Barca by the end of May if he intended to activate his termination clause. Under normal circumstances, Barcelona's 2019-20 season would have ended by mid-May at the earliest, but the coronavirus pandemic put the entire sporting world on hold for months. La Liga and the UEFA Champions League both extended well past May, and Messi's contention is that since the season extended, then so did the window for him to activate the termination clause. With Barca's 8-2 humiliation in the Champions League quarter-final happening on the 14th of August, Messi waited 11 days before sending the fateful fax to Barca's office. Had he waited the same amount of time in a normal year, he would have easily cleared the May 31 deadline. Barcelona said it intends to hold Messi to the May deadline, so legal action could be the next step. As the club would no doubt want financial compensation if its talisman were to leave. Transfer fee. This is surprisingly the least talked about option. Yet it remains the most likely to happen. That is, a regular transfer with a fee attached. Let's face it, if Barca is preparing to take Messi to court to uphold a contract because the superstar wants to leave, that means the relationship between the club and player is already damaged. That would just be nasty. Given that he had just one full season left on his current deal, it makes the most sense if a clean break were made where Messi joins another club while Barca collects something in return. Any legal proceedings could drag on, and a Messi holdout would do more damage to a Barca side that is already in disarray. The smartest course of action would be for Barca to negotiate with Messi's preferred next club and arrive at a transfer fee that would still likely be over 100 million euros. What am I saying? Over 200 euros. In fact, there have been rumors of a 450 euro bid from Man City for the Argentine. Enough of the past. Let's focus on the future. This brings us to the next part of the video. Where is Messi most likely to end up? Leo Messi, finding a new home. I'm sure that every club would love to have the great player wear their shirt, even for a season. So desperate, one football fan opened a fundraising account to help his club raise enough money to purchase the star striker. So Messi is not void of options, on the contrary. Some of the big names that have been tied to the whole Messi transfer saga include Man City, PSG, Inter Milan, and Juventus. There have been rumors of interest from Man United and Chelsea. But it's not really possible, is it? Just imagine Lionel Messi and Jesse Lingard on the same starting lineup. On the 2nd of September, the Inter Milan sporting director Piero Ozzilio told the Sky Sport Italia that Inter were never in the chase for the Barcelona captain. No coach, no president wouldn't want Messi in their team, but the reality is very different, he said. The Italian transfer window officially opened on Tuesday. Our reality is a sensible transfer market, he insisted. So, let's strike Inter Milan out. The coach of PSG has also stated that reuniting Messi with Neymar would be explosive and a great advantage to their pursuit for the first Champions League title. But the reality of paying that much for a 33-year-old player, regardless of who he is just absurd. Well, there goes PSG too. The one everybody has been talking about is Messi moving to Juventus. Although the Italian juggernauts have made no intention to buy Barcelona's all-time leading scorer. But it is the fans' call. And by fans, I mean me and every other lover of good football who wants to see Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi on the same side of the pitch for the first time. While this would be a fairy tale turned reality, it seems that is all it's ever going to be. So you out for now. That leaves Manchester City. Of all the possible destinations, Manchester City happens to be the leading chase in words and in action. Apart from being reunited with his favorite coach Pep Guardiola and joining his countryman Sergio Aguero, Messi has always been criticized for not playing outside the walls of Barcelona. One of the major advantages of Ronaldo and their best footballer rivalry is his repeated success in different leagues. Ronaldo, who has triumphed in the Portuguese League, Premier League, La Liga and netted his 50th goal for the Italian league side already, also won his first ever Ballon d'Or in England under the Sir Alex Ferguson Manchester United team. If Messi decides to hush the critics with an EPL move, I think we are in for a treat. Throughout his long stay in Barcelona, Lionel Andres Messi won 34 trophies including 10 La Liga titles, 4 UEFA Champions League titles and 6 Copas del Rey. At the time of this video, Messi holds the records for most goals in La Liga, most goals in a single La Liga and European League season, most hat-tricks in La Liga, and most hat-tricks in the UEFA Champions League, and most assists in La Liga, most assists in a single La Liga and European League season, and most assists in the Copa America. Lucky team that gets him at the end of the day. However, the story ends. Lionel Messi will remain one of the greatest humans to have ever kicked a ball. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more amazing content. Also, turn on your notification button to get the first look at our new video. See you in the next video.